Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because we're going to tackle what is arguably the most important and, honestly, often the most intimidating part of the English language: tenses. I highly recommend you grab your notebooks for this one. Seriously, grab a pen because we are definitely not just going to sit here and memorize a boring list of confusing grammar terms. Nope. We are going to completely demystify English tenses by turning them into an easy-to-remember, highly logical mathematical framework. By the time we're done, you'll see exactly how verbs change, why we use specific auxiliary helpers, and how to build sentences with total confidence.
Okay, let's dive into this. Right off the bat, we need to challenge a very common misconception. When we talk about grammar, most people just naturally use the words time and tense as if they are the exact same thing. But actually, they aren't. If you don't separate these two ideas in your head, the entire grammar system is going to feel incredibly confusing. Understanding this fundamental difference is absolutely your first step to mastering the language.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with our foundation, contrasting time and tense. Then we'll be mastering the present, exploring the past, and unlocking the future tenses. Finally, we'll hand you your new English grammar superpower. We're essentially going to build out the rooms of this grammar house block by logical block.
Let's start laying those bricks. Section 1, our foundation of time versus tense. You literally can't master the rules without this basic building block.
Think about it this way. You simply cannot master the rules of a game if you don't understand the board you're playing on. So, here is the golden rule. Time is a universal concept. It exists everywhere, for everyone. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, that's the past, present, and future. But tense is not universal time. Tense is the grammatical concept of changing your verb to match that time. Think of time as the unstoppable reality of the universe. And tense? Well, tense is our mechanical tool. It's how we physically bend our verbs to fit the reality of that universal time. Now, what's really interesting about this is how beautifully simple English is right under the hood. We basically just use three main variables, or verb forms, to create literally every single tense in the English language. We have V1, which is your base form, like jump or see. We have V2, the past form, like jumped or saw. And then we have V3, the past participle, which is jumped for regular verbs or seen for irregular ones. Keep these three variables in your mind because they are the raw building blocks for everything we're about to do.
All right, moving on to section 2, mastering the present tenses. We're stepping into our most familiar time period to set up our baseline rules.
With our basic tools defined, let's look at the first two forms of the present tense. First up, the simple present. The formula here is subject plus V1. Keep in mind, if you're talking about he, she, or it, you just slap an S or ES onto that V1 base. We use this for habits and universal truths, things that are generally real, like the sun rises in the east. Then we have the present continuous. The formula is, am, or are, plus a VIing verb. We use this for actions happening right now, and I really want you to notice a recurring formula here. Continuous tenses literally always use a VIing form, every single time. To really anchor that present continuous rule in a vivid, ongoing reality, just imagine this astronomical example. Ceres is orbiting around the sun. It uses is plus the VING word orbiting. It's an action happening right now, continuously. It paints this perfect, real-world picture of something in motion at this very second. Okay, let's level up to the present perfect and present perfect continuous. The present perfect formula uses have or has plus that V3 form we talked about earlier. Remember V3? We use this to connect the past to the present. For example, I have seen the Taj Mahal. The action happened in the past, sure, but the experience matters right now, in the present. Next, the present perfect continuous. The formula is have or has plus been plus VING. Look at that. VING pops up again because, like we said, it's continuous. We use this for actions that started a long time ago and are still happening today. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what the present perfect continuous does. If I tell you, I have been teaching English since August 2012, I'm showing you an action that started way back in the past, kept going right through 2019, and spans a massive duration of time, all the way up to the current exact second we're in right now. Awesome! Let's keep this momentum going into section 3, exploring the past tenses. And now that we have the present locked down, let's shift gears historically and apply those exact same logical formulas to events that are already over. Take this punchy pop culture example. Toy Story was released in 1995. This is a completely finished event.
Done. Over. To express this, we use the simple past. For completed events, we lock right into that V2 form. Just a quick heads up here, while regular verbs just end in ed, you absolutely have to memorize your irregular verbs for this to work, like knowing that the past tense of eat becomes ate. Let's look at the mechanical formulas for these. The simple past just uses V2 for those completed events. Easy enough. But look at the past continuous. The formula is was or were plus VING. It's used for actions that were in progress in the past. Look at that beautiful mathematical consistency again. If it's a continuous action, we use the VING pattern. We just swap out our present helpers for the past helpers was and were. To really wrap your head around how these two past tenses interact with each other, consider this scenario. Event 1, I was watching television. That's our past continuous. It creates a backdrop, right? An action in progress. But then, event 2 crashes into it. When you called me. That is our simple past. So, we use the continuous tense to set the scene and the simple past tense for the sudden interruption. But hey, what if we have two completed events in the past, and we need to clarify which one happened first? That is exactly where the past perfect comes into play. I like to think of it as the past of the past. Looking back from right now, let's say the doctor came at 7:30 p.m., but before that, at 7 p.m., the patient had died. To sequence these two historical events correctly, we use the formula had plus V3 for the older event. So we say, the patient had died before the doctor came. So just to tie off our past section, our past perfect formula is had plus V3. Simple. And our final past form is the past perfect continuous. The formula here is had plus been plus VING. We use this to measure a duration right up to a specific historical cutoff point. For instance, he had been studying English for 12 years when he joined BTech. The continuous studying happened for a specific duration right up until that past event of joining the program. You're doing absolutely great. Let's move to section 4, unlocking the future tenses. We are heading into our final frontier of time. All right, so for the future tenses, where we focus on predictions, planned actions, and facts we just can't control, we're adding a new set of auxiliary helpers to our formulas, will and shall. For the simple future, the formula is will or shall plus V1. We use this for future facts. For the future continuous, the formula is will or shall plus B plus VING. We use this for actions that will be in progress later on, like I will be watching the cricket match tomorrow. And notice something incredibly cool here. Even way out in the future, the continuous rule of VING remains completely unbroken. So, the crucial point is understanding when exactly to deploy that simple future. Take a look at the sentence, I shall be 25 years next Sunday. We use the simple future for facts that are entirely outside of our control. Obviously, we cannot control aging, so expressing this future reality requires that straightforward simple future tense. And now we arrive at the future perfect and future perfect continuous. I know, these look like the heaviest mathematical formulas yet, but seriously, don't let them intimidate you. For the future perfect, you just neatly stack your helpers, will or shall, plus have, plus V3. It's for actions completed by a specific future time, like I shall have written my assignment by next week. And for the future perfect continuous, you just stack will or shall, plus have, plus been, plus VING. By simply stacking these helpers, you have the power to predict incredibly complex durations. Let's move to and see how this builds in a real-world scenario. The future perfect continuous measures duration up to a future deadline. Imagine you moved to Srinagar back in 2022. You're still living there today, and looking ahead to next May, you want to express that total continuous duration. You use our massive formula to say they will have been staying in Srinagar for 5 years by next May. It's incredibly precise, isn't it? Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5, your English grammar's superpower. We've just covered the entire timeline. And honestly, I really want you to begin seeing everything you've just learned today not as a rigid set of academic rules, but as an empowering tool set. The core thesis of this entire explainer is that grammar isn't guesswork. It's just a highly logical, 3-step formula. Step 1, identify the universal time. Is your action in the past, present, or future? Step 2, choose the aspect. Is it a simple fact, an ongoing continuous action, or a perfect completed sequence? And step 3, apply the formula. Plug in V1, V2, V3, or VING.
If you can follow those 3 simple steps, you have the superpower to express absolutely any action at any time with perfect clarity. You now hold the master key to all 12 English tenses. The mechanics are yours. So, the only question left for you is, what exact meaning will you express next? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If this structured approach helped unlock grammar for you today, please make sure to subscribe for more deep dives where we take complex topics and make them beautifully simple. Keep practicing those formulas, and I will see you next time.